Hello there. This is Dahlia, and doing it a little bit different now. I'm trying to try with my headband on instead here, and not holding the camera. But I'll see how this goes after recording. But this is going to be my discussion about fear of the unknown compared to fear of the known. And this still ties into a lot of the subject of fear on my channel. Go check out the other videos that I talk about different aspects of fear and how it applies to cultural aspects of people's everyday lives. To kind of catch up a little bit more with what I'm talking about if you want. But in this subject about fear, I'm talking about fear of the unknown compared to fear of the known, and how both exist, but both have both types of fears. The driving force behind these fears are different. So let me just go ahead and get started. I've written a lot down on my whiteboard here. It's my handy dandy whiteboard. It's very helpful for me to jot my notes down, my ideas down. Very reliable for my enlightenment. So I'm going to start with fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown is more in regards to people's everyday achievements. So, like I've said before in other videos, people's shared fears change based on the culture they're in. And so, when I talk about fear of the unknown, I'm talking about the thing that drives people's analysis of what they would say everyday achievements are. And a lot of times when this kind of fear becomes a problem, I bring this up a lot when I think back to growing up. My mom's mom, she was not really a woman who had really good mental health. I'll just say that. But one of her issues was that she never really understood how to be supportive of her daughter's everyday achievements. Some people can, I think she was somebody who struggled with narcissism, and what I think causes it is a lot of times when people's fear of the unknown drives them to judge people's everyday achievements and too harshly. Where, like I said before in my last discussion, how face-to-face education is to help people learn better how to achieve everyday goals. But this is more in regards to, say, when people's fear controls their lives in regards to the unknown. It's about people not understanding how to respect people's everyday achievements, how to encourage those people to achieve everyday goals. Some people can get too carried away in thinking if people just want to achieve everyday goals, which that's what most people's lives are going to be, is achieving goals that are everyday for pretty much everyone. When people get too judgmental, not supportive at all, it becomes a problem. My mom's mom was somebody who definitely didn't always know how to be supportive of her daughter's everyday achievements. So that is fear of the unknown. I say that it's important overall to be supportive of people's everyday achievements. This means don't let your fear drive you to not support people's everyday achievements. And also, don't be mysterious is what I've also learned in my life, is that even though I'm still in my 20s, I've learned this, and it's very important that other people learn this too, is don't be judgmental on people's everyday achievements. And two, don't be mysterious about your reaction to people's everyday achievements either. Just accept and respect people's everyday achievements. Just be supportive of what people would say are just everyday goals that are not atypical, or, like I said in my other video, independent goals. Just because some people are gonna celebrate on being able to have filed their taxes, that's not something to be judgmental on, and that's not something to be mysterious about when it comes to just be supportive. So there's that part. Let me check the time real quick. Okay. The second part is fear of the known. A lot of times, to kind of circle this back to fear and equality a little bit, I want to add on to that to say fear of the known tends to try to control a lot more, in terms of why that fear tends to be given more, I guess you could say, momentum in society and economics and politics than fear of the unknown. But obviously fear of the known, that fear that controls people's ability to handle their reaction to what I'm about to bring up, is also a problem when people don't know how to, again, better control their fear of the known. So fear of the known is about people's agony. When I bring up agony, to me, agony is the combination of fear and pain. Like I said, cultures develop and delve into understanding better people's actual agony. But people have I've found in my experience too, that some people have truly struggled with being able to, again, be supportive of people's everyday agony, and truly accepting that that's the agony people go through on the daily. Like, there is no fighting the fact that people are just going to go through agony and suffering in their life, because life is suffering. And so you have to respect that that's just the agony people go through, and accept that. What's important is to understand, to be tough but not cruel with your reaction. Be there to be supportive and help people with, if fear of the known is going to be such a big influence. I forgot to bring this up, but just to throw in too, that fear of the unknown tends to be about the fear that demands people's right to strategize, to plan ahead. Whereas fear of the known is based on people's need to control situations. Like I said, fear of the known tends to control a lot more with economics and politics. But a lot of times, fear of the known, I personally think it needs to be more based on life or death situations, whereas fear of the unknown needs to stay more within actual situations that, though can be scary, are not life or death. And so I just want to add that in really quick. I want to interject that. But that fear of the unknown is supposed to be based on people's everyday achievements, and you have to know as a person to be supportive of people's everyday achievements, and to know that this fear is based on your need to strategize for non-life or death situations. While fear of the known is based on people's agony, and that people need to, again, accept that people have different types of agony or fears and pains that people will go through every day. And this is more tied to actual life or death situations. All in all, as long as people better understand how to, again, not let, like, to me personally, I think most people need to be more careful when they're trying to use their fear to control, because you don't want to treat every situation like it is a genuine life or death situation. No, not everyday situations are always life or death, nor should they be. I grew up with a grandfather who is a veteran, who served in the U.S. Army, but he could be cruel sometimes with his inability to really try to understand, like, my agony, because I grew up with a disorder. And so I feel like a lot of times he never truly tried to really understand what I went through with that. Nor there were times where I really felt he actually accepted it. So again, that's why I say sometimes people struggle. Like, even he struggled, I think, with understanding that not every situation was life or death. Sometimes that, it would just slip up and he would just end up treating a situation like it was life or death when it wasn't. But yeah, that's just what I want to talk about in this video. That's all I wanted to talk about. I hope everyone could hear this all right, and thank you very much for listening, and I will do another discussion in the future. Bye.